All right, back we are here. We are at halftime, Illinois and Indiana. It is all Indiana 35-10 at the half over Illinois. Been absolute domination in the first half for the Hoosiers. And let's run down some of these first half stats. Pretty one-sided. Indiana, 279 yards of offense in the first half. Illinois put up 146, 59 of those on the one play for the passing touchdown. First downs, 14-7 lead for Indiana. Run down some individual numbers. Here in the first half, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, 15 of 17 passing the football in the first half, 220 yards. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Fernando Mendoza now 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions this year. 15 completions are to 5 different receivers. Leading receiver Omar Cooper Jr., 5 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Elijah Surratt, 5 catches, 61 yards and a receiving touchdown. E.J. Williams Jr., 3 catches, 17 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Riley Nowakowski, 1 catch for 43 yards, and that was good for a touchdown. And Roman Hemby, the other catch, 1 catch for 26 yards. Rushing the football, Roman Hemby, 7 carries, 35 yards in the first half for the Hoosiers. Kalon Black carried it 6 times for 31 yards. Hoosiers rushed for 59 yards, 279 total yards in the first half. On the other side, for Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 12 of 17, passing the football for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. The 12 completions are to 6 different receivers. Leading receiver in the first half, Colin Dixon for Illinois, 3 catches for 83 yards and the 1 touchdown for Illinois in the first half. Hudson Clement, 3 catches for 27 yards. Cole Rusk, 2 catches for 21 yards. Hank Beatty, 2 catches for 13 yards. Tanner Arkin and Khalil Valentine, both with a catch apiece. Rushing the football, Illinois hasn't done anything at all. Caden Fagan, 4 carries, 12 yards. Khalil Valentine, 3 carries, 2 yards. 3 rushing yards in the first half. That's it, 3 for Illinois. Third down conversions in the first half. Indiana was 3 for 6. Illinois was 1 for 7. Indiana converted their 1 fourth down conversion try they had in the first half. Penalties in the first half, not too bad. Illinois was penalized 3 times for 18 yards. Indiana penalized twice for 10 yards. Time of possession, Indiana had it for 16 minutes, 4 seconds compared to Illinois' 13 minutes, 56 seconds. And all that leads to a 35-10 halftime lead for Indiana over Illinois. Indiana's going to have the football here to start the second half. How does Illinois regroup? What did Brett Bielema tell his group at halftime? Because they were just absolutely dominated in that first half. It was 7-7 after that 59-yard touchdown pass, but after that, Indiana ran off 28 consecutive points before Illinois got that field goal to end the first half on a little bit of a high note for them. But they're going to need a drastic second half comeback here if they want any chance here in a 35-10 deficit. Illinois does return home next week. They will host the USC Trojans, so it doesn't get a whole lot easier for Illinois after this game. Indiana will hit the road for the first time next week as they will travel to Iowa City, take on the Iowa Hawkeyes, who were victorious in their Big Ten opener last night at Rutgers in a pretty competitive game up there in Piscataway, New Jersey. So Indiana's going to receive the second half kickoff here, which we are just about to get to. Run down some scores from across the country here right before we begin the second half. South Carolina and Missouri, they've been in a back-and-forth game. Number 23, Missouri trailing South Carolina 20-18. That game is heading to the fourth quarter. Number 4, Miami, still 13-0 lead over Florida. They have just kicked off the second half down there in Miami. Number 20, Vanderbilt, 35-9 over Georgia State. Looks like they're going to avenge their loss to the Panthers from last year. Apple Cup game, Washington leading Washington State 31-17 in the third. Number 3, LSU having no problems with Southeast Louisiana, 35-0 at halftime. Texas the same against Sam Houston. Texas leads 31-0 at halftime of that one. Still to come later on tonight, Michigan State and number 25, USC. Winner of that game starts off 1-0 in conference play and will remain undefeated overall on the season. Ranked teams in action earlier today. Number 6, Oregon winning the Civil War over Oregon State, 41-7. Number 7, Florida State, 66-10 over Kent State. Number 11, Oklahoma outlasts number 22, Auburn, 24-17. Number 13, Ole Miss rolls past Tulane, 45-10. Number 15, Tennessee, no problem with UAB earlier, 56-24. Number 17, Texas Tech wins at number 16, Utah. That's a big win for the Red Raiders there, 34-10. Number 18, Georgia Tech stays undefeated, 45-24 over Temple. Number 21, Michigan gets a hard-fought win in Lincoln over Nebraska, 30-27. And number 24, Notre Dame, finally in the win column. They beat Purdue 56-30. And here is 35-10 Indiana. We are just about ready to kick off and start the second half. It will be Indiana football to open the second half. And this first drive of the third quarter is going to be big. Illinois has got to try and force a 3 and out if they can and try and get their offense on the field as they're in a 4-score deficit here. Illinois to kick this football away, and we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback, and Indiana will get the football from the 25-yard line to begin quarter number 3. Brett Bielema there, the head coach of Illinois, on the sideline. They're at halftime, getting his group together at halftime, wondering what exactly went wrong there in the first half. First down, Indiana at the 25, opening possession, quarter number 3. Mendoza takes the snap. Mendoza, a handoff on first down, and this will be good for a couple of yards on first down. Be second down and 8. Second and 8. Football sits at the 27. Mendoza throws, pass complete. That's Surratt. That's a first down along the sideline up to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 10 and a first down for the Hoosiers. At the 37-yard line, new set of downs for the Hoosiers. It'll be a first and 10. Opening possession, third quarter, a minute old. Mendoza takes the snap. This is a handoff to Hamby again, and Hamby will pick up 4 more yards on first down, bringing up second down and 6. Roman Hamby now up to 41 yards on his 9 carries. Mendoza has Hamby joining him in the backfield again on the second down and 6 play. Mendoza will throw a screen pass to Hamby. Hamby got across the 45, 50-yard line, first down, out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Roman Hemby on the screen pass picks up 11 more and move the sticks again for the Hoosiers. Hoosiers move into Illinois territory, and this is a keeper for Mendoza, and Mendoza gets inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, so the quarterback keep gets Mendoza 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Second and 5 Hoosiers, football at the Illini 43. High snap this time, and the handoff up to the 40-yard line. This time it's Black getting the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Indiana. Indiana 3 for 6 so far on 3rd down attempts tonight. They're going to need 2 on this 3rd down to keep the drive going. Mendoza on 3rd and 2. It's a handoff. It's a 1st down and more. And he is going to take it to the distance. Touchdown, Indiana. Kaylon Black. The 40-yard rushing touchdown, and the Hoosiers add to their lead. 41-10 Hoosiers with the extra point pending. With the Hoosiers just took over right where they were in the first half, and the 6th touchdown of the game for Indiana. Extra point attempt. Up and good, and it is 42-10. Indiana over Illinois with 11:38 to play in quarter number 3. Indiana having their way with Illinois in this one. Illinois offense coming out for the first time in the second half. Following the timeout. As this drive for Indiana went 7 plays, 75 yards. 3 minutes, 22 seconds, a Kaylon Black 40-yard touchdown run, and an Indiana lead of 42-10. Kaylon Black now at 74 yards rushing. That puts Indiana at 354 total yards. And we will see the Illinois offense for the first time as they are just getting manhandled tonight. Everybody wasn't sure last year with Indiana, and there were still a lot of doubters with that college football playoff loss they took to Notre Dame. Indiana only played 2 ranked teams last year, and that was their 2 losses. So everybody still was a little bit leery of Indiana, myself guilty. But they are proving people like me wrong, saying they are legit. They do not have an easy one next week. They do have to go to Iowa City next week to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. That's usually not an easy place to play. And barring a huge comeback here for Illinois, the winner of that Indiana-Iowa game next week will go to 2-0 in the Big Ten. So Illinois will go on offense for the first time tonight, now trailing by 32. Illinois is at home next week against the USC Trojans, so it doesn't get a whole lot easier for the Illini next week. They do get USC at home if there's any consolation. As USC will have to make that near cross-country trip next week. So Indiana set to kick this away, and we will see the Illinois offense for the first time in the second half. Here's the kickoff. And this will go through the end zone for a touchback, and Illinois will get it from the 25-yard line. Start their first drive of the second half. So back comes Luke Altmaier and the Illinois offense. Altmaier threw for 143 yards in the first half, 59 of those on the touchdown pass in the first quarter. First down Illini at the 25. Altmaier throws. That pass tipped and incomplete. See who got that. It was Lewis Moore that tipped that pass. It'd be second down and 10. Altmaier, screen pass on second and 10. Not going much of anywhere. Only a couple yards on that second down screen pass. It'll be third and long for Illinois. Give them 3 officially, so third down and 7. Football at the 28-yard line. Illinois just 1 for 7 on third down conversions tonight. They need 7 on this one to keep the drive alive. Out of the gun. Altmaier being pressured, and he is sacked for the 6th time tonight. Mario Landino, the one that got to Altmaier this time for the sack, and it's a 3 and out for Illinois. Six sacks for this Indiana defense tonight on Luke Altmaier. And the kick is a good one. Taken back at the 24-yard line across the 30, 35. Look out, running room. 50-yard line and brought down into Illinois territory. A 28-yard return off the punt. And Indiana will start this next drive in Illinois territory. First down, Indiana, from the 48 of Illinois. Back comes this Hoosier offense, who has put 6 touchdowns on the board in this game, and we still have 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. First down at the 44, their market. Mendoza, pass left side, pass is caught. That's Surratt again. Elijah Surratt good for 5 yards on that pass on first down. Be second down and 5. 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff up the middle. This will be a first down for Indiana. Hemby picks up 7 and a first down. Up to the 33-yard line. Screen pass. This is Omar Cooper Jr. inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. 5 more for Cooper. Second and 5 for the Hoosiers at the 28-yard line of Illinois, looking to score yet again. 8.5 and counting to go in the third. Mendoza takes the snap. Mendoza the handoff. This time it's going to be limited to a 1-yard pickup. Nowhere to go that time for Hemby, and it's 3rd down and 4. Hoosiers need 4 on this 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Football sitting at the 27 of Illinois. And we have a timeout called by Indiana. First timeout of the second half called by the Hoosiers. It'll be 3rd and 4 following the timeout. With 7:44 to go in the third. Indiana leading Illinois 42-10. 371 total yards of offense tonight for the Hoosiers, compared to 140 for the Illini. But that Indiana defense tonight, 6 sacks on Luke Altmaier. And Illinois just has been able to get nothing going, sustain nothing offensively tonight. And that is a big credit to this Indiana Hoosiers defense, as they have just been absolutely phenomenal tonight. Looking ahead for these two teams, mentioned Indiana goes to Iowa next week. That's looking like it's going to be a battle for 5-0 and 2-0 in the conference. A little bit of a tough stretch for the Hoosiers coming up. They go to Iowa, then they go across the country to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Ducks before coming back home against Michigan State and UCLA. So that's not going to be an easy 2-game road trip coming up for the Hoosiers. Meanwhile, Illinois, as mentioned, they come back home next week to host USC before traveling to Purdue. And then 3 weeks from today, the Illini will host the Ohio State Buckeyes in Champaign. So that's the schedule going forward for both of these teams. So not an easy stretch coming up for Illinois either. So following the timeout, Indiana will have a 3rd and 4 at the Illini 27-yard line, midway through the third quarter. Can Illinois get a defensive stop? Something they have not been able to do all night long. Mendoza breaks the huddle. Got Hemby in the backfield with him. 3rd down and 4. Mendoza takes the shotgun snap. Mendoza has room to run if he wants. Goes right side and gets to the marker. 1st down, Indiana. Mendoza on 3rd down and 4 picks up 5 and will move the chains and keep the drive alive for Indiana. First down, Hoosiers at the 22-yard line. Clock running, 7:15 in the 3rd. Mendoza, the handoff to Hemby, and Hemby picks up 9 more inside the 15 to the 13. And the Hoosiers just continue to pile up yardage against this Illinois defense. Second and a yard at the 13. Mendoza, here's another handoff. This will be another 1st down for the Hoosiers inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Indiana. As Hemby with another carry. First and goal from the 8. Hoosiers looking for their 7th touchdown of the night. Mendoza in the gun, takes the snap. It's another handoff to Hemby. Hemby hit at the line of scrimmage, but breaks out of it and gets up to the 5-yard line, so turned no gain into a gain of about 3. That is a frustrated Coach Brett Bielema on the Illinois sideline. Not the kind of game I don't think anybody expected. We thought it'd be a nice, close, nip and tuck fight. It's been anything but. 2nd and goal at the 5. Mendoza takes the snap. Mendoza throws end zone. Surratt, touchdown, Indiana. Mendoza to Surratt from 5 yards out. The 5th passing touchdown of the night for Fernando Mendoza and 6 more for the Hoosiers. And it is one of those nights for the Illini. Extra point attempt on the way. Up and good. And it is 49-10. Indiana with 5:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mendoza finds Surratt from 5 yards. All Hoosiers tonight in Bloomington. Second receiving touchdown of the night for Surratt. 5th passing touchdown of the night for Mendoza. He just continues that incredible streak of touchdowns without an interception. 14 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season for Fernando Mendoza. 256 yards passing tonight, and the Hoosiers are just too shy of 400 for the game. Drive for Indiana was 9 plays, 44 yards, 4 minutes, 57 seconds. A Fernando Mendoza to Elijah Surratt 5-yard touchdown pass. And it is 49-10 Indiana over Illinois. This is one of those games when this game gets over, if you're Illinois, this is a game you just have to put in the rearview mirror, forget about it, and just regroup and practice this week and get ready for USC. It's just one of those where you just want to throw away the tape if you're Illinois. So Indiana getting set to kick off with a commanding lead here with 5:02 to play in the third quarter. Florida's gotten in the end zone against Miami, so that game has gotten tight. Miami's lead down to 13-7 late in the third quarter. Missouri's retaken the lead over South Carolina, 26-20. 6 minutes to go in that one. And all of a sudden, the skies have opened up over Bloomington as it is starting to rain pretty hard. And here's the kickoff. And this will be another touchback, and Illinois will once again start from the 25-yard line. So Illinois in a big, big deficit here. It's looking for something to build on in these last 20 minutes going into the USC game next week. First down, Illinois at the 25. Handoff on first down, and this is going to go backwards. The Indiana defense continuing to frustrate Illinois, and that'll be a loss of 3 on first down. Second down, Altmaier in trouble. Altmaier throws it away. He was about to get sacked for the 7th time, and Altmaier just had to throw that one out of bounds. It's third down. Third and long for the Illini. Four and a half to go in the third. Altmaier takes the snap on 3rd and 11. Blitz coming, and the pass tipped and incomplete. Where the Hoosiers were bringing the blitz there. And again, Illinois goes 3 and out. Is that Landino again, who already has 2 sacks tonight? Yes, it was. He got his hand up there to tip the pass. What a night Landino was having defensively for the Hoosiers. And the punt. And a fair catch made at the 31-yard line, and that's where Indiana will start this next drive with 4:16 to go in the third. All Hoosiers, and all of a sudden a pouring down rain in Bloomington, 49-10, Indiana. As good as you can expect for the Indiana Hoosiers tonight. And I think With this game tonight, this is going to make a believer in the Hoosiers out of a lot of people. There's a lot of skeptics out there about this team, and I must admit, me included. But they have sold me on this performance tonight. A 49-10 score. Don't think the kind of game anybody expected to see tonight. Hoosiers will start this next drive at the 31-yard line. It's 14-7 Hoosiers after one. 3 touchdowns in the second quarter for Indiana, 35-10 at the half, and they've scored 2 more touchdowns here in the third to pull away at 49-10. Some score updates. It is still 26-20 Missouri leading South Carolina. Still tight, 13-7 Miami and Florida. Southeast Louisiana did avoid the shutout. They did get a touchdown against LSU, but LSU still leads that game big, 42-7. Texas 45-0 over Sam Houston in the third. And again, later on, Michigan State at USC from out there at the Coliseum. So Hoosiers football, 4:16 to go in the third. Here's a handoff on first down and a big gain. This is Black getting 11 yards at a first down up to the 42-yard line. And that run will put Indiana over the 400-yard mark tonight. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The backup quarterback for the Hoosiers is Fernando Mendoza's brother, Alberto Mendoza. Wonder if we'll see him in the fourth quarter. This is Mendoza on the keeper, and he will go out of bounds around the 48-yard line. So a good pickup of 7 more on first down, bringing up second down and 3. Second down for the Hoosiers. Clock down to 3 minutes in, counting to play in the third. Mendoza takes the snap. Mendoza is going to be sacked. That's the second sack for the Illinois defense tonight. And it'll be third down and about 8. Third and 8, Indiana. Hoosiers need to get to the Illinois 48 for a first down. It's a screen pass on third down. This is Surratt. Surratt will get the first down to the 46-yard line on 3rd and 9. The pickup was good for 11. Surratt getting a breather over to the sideline. Final 100 seconds of the third quarter. Indiana first down at the Illinois 46. Handoff on first down. This will be good for 5 more as Black gets the carry. Second down 5 for Indiana. Second down Hoosiers, under a minute to go in the third. Mendoza. Handoff again up the middle. This will be another Indiana first down to the 35-yard line. Kobe Martin getting that carry, his first carry of the night. Freshman out of Fishers, Indiana. And Indiana can let the third quarter clock tick out. They don't have to snap the ball again, and that looks like exactly what they're going to do. 3 quarters in the books in Bloomington. It is all Hoosiers. After 3, Indiana 49, Illinois 10. 15 minutes separate Indiana from a 4-0 record and a 1-0 start to Big Ten play. And meanwhile, the frustration on the Illinois side. Stats through 3, pretty one-sided. 432 yards for the Hoosiers, 139 for Illinois. First downs 23-7. In favor of Indiana. But the individual numbers on Mendoza, these are just incredible numbers on him tonight. 21 of 23 passing the football, 267 yards and 5 touchdowns. Only 2 incompletions the entire night. Elijah Surratt, his leading target, 9 carries, 92 yards. Or 9 catches for 92 yards, excuse me. Omar Cooper Jr., 6 catches for 78 yards. Surratt, 2 receiving touchdowns. Omar Cooper Jr. with 1 receiving touchdown. Riley Nowakowski and E.J. Williams Jr., the other 2 receiving touchdowns for the Hoosiers. And Kalon Black, the leading rusher, 10 carries, 89 yards. Roman Hemby has rushed 14 times for 65 yards. Meanwhile, for Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 13 of 21, 146 yards and a touchdown. Caden Fegan, the leading rusher, for just 12 yards, though, on 4 carries. Illinois has done absolutely nothing in the rushing game tonight. Indiana defense has just stifled Illinois all night long. And that has led to the score being what it is. And Indiana, 15 minutes away from a 4-0 record and a 1-0 start to Big Ten play. So here we go as we get ready to start the fourth quarter in Bloomington. A Hoosiers crowd that has enjoyed what they've seen tonight. So here we go in the fourth quarter. Hoosiers will have the football. At the Illinois 35. As the skies opened up in that third quarter over Bloomington as the rain started to come down in bunches. Looks like it has let up considerably now. And we are going to see, in this first play of the fourth quarter, it's a handoff and up to the 30-yard line. And we do indeed here in the fourth quarter see the brother of Fernando Mendoza, Alberto Mendoza, in here at quarterback. Francisco Mendoza getting the rest of the evening off, and well-deserved. So Alberto Mendoza, the freshman out of Miami, getting into the ball game here. Second down Hoosiers from the 31. Alberto Mendoza, here's a handoff again, and this is going to be another touchdown for Indiana. A 31-yard rushing touchdown for Kobe Martin. And the Hoosiers have hung over 100 on the board on Illinois tonight. Utter domination from this Indiana team tonight. And meanwhile, a lot of frustration on the Illinois sideline. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And it is 56-10, Indiana over Illinois with 14:09 to play. Wow. That drive for the Hoosiers, 8 plays, 69 yards, 5 minutes, 7 seconds. And a Kobe Martin 31-yard touchdown run for the Hoosiers' 8th touchdown of the night. And they are just absolutely steamrolling Illinois. And Kurt Cignetti, you know he's happy. You never see the man crack a smile, but you know he is loving his performance by his Indiana Hoosiers tonight. All smiles on that Indiana sideline. As the rain starts to come down pretty hard again, here's the kickoff. And taking the yard deep and is going to get run out across the 10, 15-yard line, 20-yard line, and down at the 22-yard line. And that's where Illinois will start this next drive. First down, Illinois at the 22-yard line. Shotgun formation, as it's been most of the night. Here's a toss on first down. And this gain will go for about 6 yards on first down. Second down 4 for Illinois. Football sitting at the 28-yard line. Pass is complete, but it's going to go for no gain. new quarterback in the game for Illinois as well. This is Carson Boyd, freshman out of St. Louis. So Luke Altmaier's night is complete for the Illini. So both teams on their backup quarterbacks now. 3rd and 4, Illinois. And with the score 56-10, the crowd still loud. Boyd in trouble, gets pulled down and sacked. The 7th sack for the Indiana defense tonight. This time it's Tyreek Tucker with the sack. The junior defensive lineman out of Norfolk, Virginia. And Illinois will have to punt. And here comes the punt. And the fair catch made. And I apologize, that was Altmaier in the game. Their number 9 and number 4 on the jersey look very similar on the Illinois jersey, but that was still Altmaier in the game. He may not be now after this last drive. Hoosiers will take over. Yeah, the 9 and the 4 look very, very similar. But we may see Carson Boyd for the remainder of this game for Illinois, and we're going to see I would think Alberto Mendoza get another series here for the Hoosiers. This is an Indiana team that does carry 5 quarterbacks. Missouri has added a field goal against South Carolina, so that is now a 9-point lead for number 23, Missouri. 29-20 with just over a minute to go, so it looks like Missouri is going to finally put away South Carolina in what's been a tightly contested game all night between those two. Florida still hanging in with Miami. It's 13-7. 11:55 to go in the fourth there. Vanderbilt blowing out Georgia State 49-15. Vanderbilt's going to go to 4-0. Washington's going to win the Apple Cup. They lead Washington State 52-24. That will move Washington to 3-0. They have just kicked off in Boulder between Colorado and Wyoming. Still to come, California, San Diego State. Cal looks to go 4-0. Michigan State and number 25, USC. That game kicks off in about a half hour. Fresno State and Hawaii from the island. Those 3 games still yet to kick off. This game well decided. The Hoosiers leading 56-10 over the Illini with 12:01 to play. You can see the frustration on Luke Altmaier's face tonight as he has been beat up by this Indiana defense. 7 sacks on Altmaier tonight. And an Illinois defense an Illinois offense that has only been able to put up 138 yards tonight. Featured game in the Big Ten next week will be in Happy Valley. A couple of undefeated teams, Oregon and Penn State. Penn State was off this week. Oregon got the win in the Civil War over Oregon State today. So first down here, and this is a handoff. This is going to be another first down carry, a gain of 12 yards. Kobe Martin again, gain of 12 and a first down. How far will this raise Indiana in the AP poll tomorrow? And how far will Illinois drop after getting absolutely blown out tonight? Here's a handoff. This is Martin again, and Martin's going to have another first down into Illinois territory, just inside the Illinois 45. 4 of the top 10 were idle this week. Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and Texas A&M all had a bye this week. Illinois, the only top 10 team that's going to go down to defeat. They did not give Martin a first down on that last. It's second down and about a foot. He definitely has the first down now inside the 40 to the 39. 6 more for Kobe Martin, and move the sticks once again for Indiana. And Martin's going to go to the sideline to get a little bit of a breather here. Do have an injured Illini player on the field. It's defensive back Matthew Bailey, the injured Illini player, but he is walking off under his own power. Bailey, the 6'2 junior out of Moline, Illinois, up there in the Quad Cities. First down Hoosiers at the Illini 39-yard line. Clock running, 10 minutes and counting. First down Hoosiers. Another handoff, and this will be a gain of 9 more on first down. Solomon Van Horst getting that carry, getting in the ball game for the first time. Give him a gain of 8 on that. Second and 2, Hoosiers. Hoosiers just milking this clock. Second and 2 at the 31. Van Horst again. He'll get a first down inside the 30 up to the 27-yard line. 4 more. As well as a trip to Oregon on the schedule, Hoosiers also have a trip to Penn State coming up later on in the season as well. That game at Iowa next week's not going to be a gimme. Here's a gain of 3 more on this carry. Second and 8 after the 2-yard gain. Alberto Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana. And a run up the middle, breaking a tackle inside the 10-yard line and up to the 8-yard line. Kobe Martin back in the game, and it'll be first and goal, Indiana. Well, Kobe Martin looked like he was going to be stopped for a 2-yard gain, but stayed upright and got out of the tackle and got several extra yards up to the 8-yard line, setting up a 1st and goal for Indiana. Hoosiers well over the 500-yard mark tonight. And this is again Kobe Martin, and he is in once again for another Indiana touchdown. Kobe Martin's 2nd rushing touchdown. And Indiana in the end zone for the 9th time tonight. Extra point attempt. Up and good. And the Hoosiers keep adding on. 6:38 remaining. It is 63-10 Hoosiers. The drive for Indiana, 8 plays, 67 yards, 5 minutes, 23 seconds, finished off by an 8-yard touchdown run for Kobe Martin. 8 plays, all on the ground. The scoring barrage for Indiana started tonight back in the first quarter with that blocked punt for a touchdown. And it's been nonstop for the Hoosiers ever since. And the Hoosiers to the tune of 534 yards of offense tonight. Meanwhile, the Hoosier defense has held Illinois to 138 yards. It has been absolute domination for Indiana tonight. Back to the drawing board for Illinois. Like I said, this is just one of those games. Throw away the tape, throw away everything involved in this game for Illinois. It is just one of them games that they're just going to want to quickly forget and move on to getting ready for USC next week. This is still a very, very good Illinois football team. They just ran into an absolute buzzsaw tonight. Indiana going out there look like they have a little bit something to prove to themselves and to everybody else. Now have a final in Columbia, Missouri. Missouri beats South Carolina 29-20. So that moves Missouri to 4-0 on the season. Back-to-back losses for South Carolina, both in the conference. So they fall to 2-2, but 0-2 in SEC play. Last time Indiana beat a top 10 team was back in 2020. The COVID year where it was conference-only play. Indiana beat Penn State 36-35. That's the last time Indiana beat a top 10 team. That'll be until tonight, that is. $6:39 to go. Here's the kickoff. And a touchback, and Illinois will get this football to 25. Luke Altmaier's night is done for Illinois. And you can see nothing but frustration on his face on the sideline. Sacked 7 times tonight by the Indiana defense. First down, pass is caught out of bounds at the 31-yard line. The new quarterback for Illinois is Ethan Hampton. Transfer from Northern Illinois. Second down and 4 for the Illini. Here's a handoff, and this will be a first down. I believe that is just the second first down for Illinois in the second half. This one will move the sticks. First down, Illinois at the 36. That pass is caught. Mark at the 42-yard line. Pass reception for Malik Elzy, junior out of Chicago. Second and 3. Handoff, and this will be another first down for Illinois up to the 49-yard line. Khalil Valentine getting that carry. As we are down to 5 minutes remaining and counting. Hampton throw too high and intercepted. Pass was intended for Colin Dixon, but it was a little high. And there to pick it off for Indiana was Amari Farrell. Been that kind of night for Illinois. That's just basically a summary of how the night's gone for the Illini tonight. And with 4:49 to go, Indiana will come back on offense and try and run out the remainder of this clock. That's the one thing we had not had before that interception was a turnover for either team. Illinois has only had the football for a little over 6 minutes in the second half. And Indiana, both offensively and defensively, just been an absolute beast tonight. And the Illini have had no answers at all for this Hoosier team. They have kicked off between Cal and San Diego State. Again, Cal looking to go 4-0 on the season. Has full conference play starting to get underway, or will be starting next week. Most of the non-conference play is over. Got some interesting matchups next week in college football. The big ones up there in Happy Valley between Oregon and Penn State. That's the primetime Big Ten game next Saturday night. I will be on with you for 2 more college football live streams next Saturday. Always do one FCS and one FBS game. Don't know what those games are going to be. I hope to have that announcement Monday night on my live stream during the Monday night game between the Lions and the Ravens. Should have the announcement of what the 2 college football games next Saturday on the live stream will be. So Indiana back with it with 4:49 to go, as they will have a first down from the 30-yard line. High snap and a handoff on first down. That's going to be good for about 3 yards. Second down, 7 coming up. Indiana running this clock down as far as they can, the play clock anyway, each time. No reason not to at this point. And here's another handoff on second down. This gain's going to be for another 2 yards. Setting up third down and 6 as we tick under 4 minutes. Third down and 5. Football at the 35. It's going to be a delayed handoff. This is going to be a first down and more. Solomon Van Horst picks up a first down. Under 3 minutes and counting. Miami just got a touchdown against Florida to maybe finally put the Gators away in that one. Very game Florida team tonight, but it looks like it's going to end up a little bit short. Quarterback keeper for Mendoza, and he's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And the Hoosiers can let this tick down to the 2-minute timeout if they want. Fernando Mendoza giving his brother a nice little cheer on that run. Clock has stopped here with 2:26 to go. Not sure what the stoppage. Oh, we have an injured Illinois player. That's what the stoppage is. So an Illinois player banged up here. Don't exactly know who that is for Illinois. Oh, it's Torrey Cox Jr., the injured Illini player, but he is walking off under his own power. Cox makes it back to the sideline, and they will restart the clock. There's really no reason for Indiana to snap this on the north side of the 2-minute warning. 2-minute timeout, excuse me. And they will not. Hoosiers are going to let this clock tick down to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to play in Bloomington. All Hoosiers tonight. They're about to go to 4-0 and open up Big Ten play with a conference win. And the number 9 Illinois Fighting Illini are about to go down to defeat for the first time this year. Good battle in the Big 12 between Arizona State and Baylor. That game locked up at 24, under 2 minutes to play. BYU going to stay undefeated. They have a big lead, 34-13 at East Carolina in the fourth. Texas still preserving the shutout against Sam Houston, 55-0 in that one. Michigan State USC about to kick off. That winner goes to 4-0 and 1-0 in the Big Ten. Again, on my live stream channel here, because after this game, probably gonna sign off pretty quick after giving some final stats. So just on the live stream tomorrow night, we'll be with you for the Chiefs and the Giants. Depending on my time and how my schedule is, possibly may be on for a early afternoon or late afternoon NFL game. We'll have to see how that goes. But for sure, going to be with you tomorrow night for a live stream of the Chiefs and the Giants. That loser falls to 0-3. Don't think anybody predicted the Chiefs would be in that spot. This is about as close to a must-win in a Week 3 game as you can have for both those teams. And then Monday night, we'll be on for a live stream as well. The Lions and the Ravens coming up on Monday night. So here we go. 2 minutes left in this one. All Hoosiers. Looks like another new quarterback into the game for Indiana. It is a new quarterback for the Hoosiers, third quarterback of the night. This is Grant Wilson, senior out of Arlington, Virginia. And the Hoosiers will only have to snap it about 2 more times. Over 300 yards rushing tonight for Indiana. Illinois' rushing yards tonight, 2. Another handoff. Up to the 31-yard line, and one more snap. Should put a wrap on this one. Hoosiers defense held Illinois to 161 yards of total offense. Like I said, just 2 rushing yards for the Illini. Curt Cignetti, again, you don't really see him smile much, but he has got to be pleased with this performance tonight by his Hoosiers. It's a keeper, and sliding down at the 24-yard line was Grant Wilson, and that's going to do it. An absolute dominating performance by the Indiana Hoosiers tonight as they beat the Illini of Illinois 63-10. Hoosiers moved to 4-0 on the season, 1-0 in Big Ten play. Illinois will fall to 3-1 on the season, 0-1 in Big Ten play. Hoosiers' final numbers, 579 yards of offense tonight, 312 on the ground. 31 first downs for the Hoosiers. I mean, just absolutely incredible stats. Fernando Mendoza, starting quarterback for the Hoosiers, 21 of 23 passing the football, 267 yards, 5 touchdowns. And the rushing attack for the Hoosiers, led by Kobe Martin, actually ended up the leading rusher, 12 carries, 107 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Kalon Black added 10 carries for 89 yards. Roman Hemby, 14 carries for 65 yards. 312 yards rushing tonight. Leading receiver for the Hoosiers was Elijah Surratt, 9 catches, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Omar Cooper Jr., 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown reception east for Riley Nowakowski and E.J. Williams Jr. For Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 14 of 22, 146 yards, and a touchdown. But absolutely nothing in the running game tonight for Illinois. Like I said, just 2 rushing yards tonight. Caden Fegan, 5 carries, 18 yards. Khalil Valentine, 6 carries, 11 yards. But the sacks for Indiana, which there were 7 of, is what brought that rushing total down. 7 different receivers had at least 1 reception for Illinois tonight. Leading receiver was Colin Dixon, 4 catches, 86 yards. And the 1 touchdown that Illinois got tonight, Hudson Clement, also 4 catches for 27 yards. But pure domination as the Hoosiers win it 63-10 over Illinois. And they have a trip to Iowa City next week. That's not going to be a gimme. While Illinois returns back home to Champaign to host the USC Trojans, who are about to kick off against Michigan State. All right, again, thank you for joining me on this live stream tonight. Again, my name is John, Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube. I was also on Kick tonight at Sports Kick John. If you do like my content, would appreciate a like and subscribe. That would really help out a lot and go a long way. I appreciate it. And I will be back with you on a live stream for sure tomorrow night for the game between the Chiefs and the Giants. Possibly may throw a early afternoon, late afternoon game in there, depending on my schedule. But for sure, we'll be with you tomorrow night for the Chiefs and the Giants. Again, appreciate you joining me, everyone, and I will talk to you again tomorrow on the live stream.